Hey guys, real quick video today on how to replace the motor on a bathroom exhaust fan. This motor, I've already obviously taken it apart, and I'll show you when I put it back together how easy it is to take these things apart. But this motor, as you can see, has had lots of years of moisture, and when you turn it on, all it would do is just basically make a buzzing sound. So the motor is locked up, wasn't turning at all, and obviously needed to be replaced. To find these, I've done these before. Sometimes you can find the actual, this whole component here that you can actually go to the store and buy, and you can just pop back in your fan. In this case, what I did was just took the model number. You probably won't be able to see this very well, but there's a model right there, 99080165. And I just went on to Amazon, I looked up that model number and found the exact same fan motor. So it does look like, just from my first glance here, it looks like it's the same motor. So I'll show you how easy it is to put this thing on. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do to take this thing apart should be pretty easy. There's just a couple of nuts here that hold these two bolts onto this frame piece, but before I do that, I need to get this plastic fan off of here. And I think this is just press fit on here. It looks like there's a little C-clip. Yeah. So if you can see that, there's just a little metal clip there. Now theoretically this thing should come off of here. I don't want to break it. Alright, so what I ended up doing is I set this frame on the floor, stood on it, and I took both hands and I basically just rocked this back and forth and got it at the point where it's loose. Alright. So now that's off. I'm just going to take a pliers. I'll loosen up these two nuts here. Alright, so now that old motor just slides out. Put the new motor back in the same spot. Just reverse course. Alright, so once you've got the motor secured, make sure your cord is pulled out. Just we're going to flip it over and put the fan back on, and there's actually there's a flat spot on the shaft here. So just find the flat spot on the fan, line that up. Right back on, and then this little ring that was on here, and I won't be able to do this with one hand. This ring it's like a little compression ring, so I'll just take a needle nose pliers and I'll spread that apart, put that over the top of those little ears on there, and that'll be ready to install. Okay, so here's the fan location, and it's gonna be a little bit hard because I have to unplug this light to show you what I'm doing here. But basically what we're gonna do is you see these fins here and here on this plate. So those fins go into a slot into that housing, and then there is a screw right here. It goes through this hole, and that screw just goes up into the fan there. So that housing, the slots, let's show you here. So hopefully you can see it right there. There's a slot, and then over there is where the other tabs go. And then right there, right in that location there, that's where the screw goes. And then you can see, obviously, the cutout where the fan actually tucks up into. So I'm going to do this. I don't know how well I can do this on camera. Again, I've got to turn this light off, but I'll show you how to install this, and then to take it apart is just the reverse. Okay, so I'm going to unplug my light. And put this housing up in those slots, just like I showed you. And I'm just going to install this screw. This one screw is really all that holds this thing up in here. Okay, and if you've never seen inside of one of these boxes before, there's just a regular plug-in that both the fan and the light plug into. And might as well give it a test. There we go. Blows good, nice and quiet. Now what you might want to do, if you've got some compressed air, if you got an air compressor, or even just a can of compressed air, you see how you get some dust and stuff. Sometimes these are really bad that accumulates up in these. If you've got a lot of dust, just blow that out of there. This one has a heater element in it too, and if you blow that dust out, it'll help it so it doesn't smell so bad when you turn it on. Sometimes, especially the first couple times you use these things, they can stink pretty bad. Okay, now that we've got the fan replaced, I'm going to put the cover and the light on. So pretty simple the way this goes together. And again, this is the way you'll have taken this apart. So you see this threaded rod here, and there's a little nut. What we're going to do is, actually first, I'll go ahead and plug the light back in first. Alright, so the light's plugged in. So you just take your trim piece, put it up into the location, and then your light that way. And that light housing goes up. I don't know if you can see that, but the end of that threaded rod pops out of the bottom of that little light housing there. And you don't have to make that super tight, just kind of snug it up. But that's how it comes apart, the whole process. You start with that nut, your light housing will come apart, your trim comes down, and then you get access to everything underneath it. And then, obviously get your light bulb back in, get your pop your plastic cover back into place. This one's really dirty, needs to be cleaned. There you go. Light, fan. In this case, heat too. All right, guys, that's it. Project complete. Super easy job. So this is like 15 minutes. Doesn't take very long at all. When you look at that motor, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to figure out what number you're looking for. In my case, I found the biggest number on there that kind of looked like a model number, popped it into Google, came right up on Amazon. I had it in a couple days. I think the motor was $15 or less than $15. So really easy to do. Anybody should be able to tackle this project. Don't be intimidated, and good luck. We'll see you in the next video.